Today, we're going to look at the Wingstop franchise. There's two ways to get in. You can either buy or build an existing franchise. We're going to look at both. First, if you're looking to build a new location like this, we're going to take a look at that cost. According to the franchise disclosure document, a new Wingstop franchise takes anywhere from $315,000 to $948,000 to build. We'll break those costs down into three segments: startup cost, build cost, and opening cost. First, we have startup costs like franchise fees, security deposits, and other fees that you'll pay before you start to build. Next up, we have build costs. So these are the costs involved in making an existing facility or a new facility look like a Wingstop, buying ovens, fryers, and other equipment needed to turn it into a restaurant. Last, we have opening costs. So these are some of the costs that you'll spend right before you open a restaurant. Things like security deposits, opening inventory so that you have things on hand to cook and sell to the public, advertising, and other promotional things so that you can tell people you're open for business. Next, we'll cover the cost to buy a Wingstop franchise from an existing franchisee. First, we'll start with store level EBITDA. That is the cash flow that's generated inside the four walls of the restaurant. Next, we'll subtract out above store costs. Those are things like accounting, payroll, legal fees, and other things that aren't really realized inside the four walls of the restaurant. That will give you corporate EBITDA, or the EBITDA that you could expect as a new buyer of the business. We'll take that corporate EBITDA and multiply by a valuation multiple. In Wingstop, for a franchise of probably 3 to 5 units, you're looking at a 6 times multiple on average. Wingstop is pretty high in demand. And from there, multiplying corporate EBITDA by the valuation multiple will give you the enterprise or business valuation, or what you could expect to buy or sell an existing Wingstop franchise for. We'll look at the average profitability of a single Wingstop location first. So revenues in 2021 were $1.5 million. Food and paper costs were 42%, which was higher than normal. Wing prices were elevated due to COVID, and wing prices are really variable in many different markets. Labor costs, 24%. Royalties coming in at 5.5% of sales. Advertising also at 5.5% of sales. And we estimated rent at 4%. This can vary by market. It can also vary by location, size, but for now we'll take 4%. So with all those in mind, store level EBITDA is 9%, or $141,000 per location. Taking the single store level EBITDA of $141,000, we'll multiply that by 5 units to get the valuation on 5-unit transaction. That store level EBITDA is $709,000. We'll subtract G&A at 2.5%. That's $197,000 taken away to get you a corporate level EBITDA of $512,000. People could argue about the G&A that's right for these. They're high volume, easy to manage. That number could be plus or minus 50 basis points. From there, we'll multiply that by a 6 multiple, and that will give us a business valuation of $3,073,950. This is the value that you could expect to pay for a 5-unit Wingstop business. Thanks for watching. Put some comments below if you have any other questions. Would love to help in any way possible.